You're listening to It's Only Sport here on the platform. It's a pretty nasty, drizzly, gross day in Auckland, but hopefully not the case tomorrow afternoon in Napier. It's the first Ranfurly Shield match of 2024 as part of the Bunnings NPC. Hawke's Bay hosting Southland, and we're lucky enough to be joined by Southland co-coach James Wilson. James, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me on.
I love the Ranfurly Shield. I, like most fans, rugby fans of this country, just adore this bit of, I guess, silverware. Could you call it woodware? I'd call it rugby history, actually. But how exciting is it when you're gearing up for one of these matches, whether you're challenging or defending? It must be quite a buzz heading into the match. It's
got to be the best thing to play for in New Zealand, right? It's pretty awesome, just the history around it. Players that have played for it, players that have won it, players that haven't been able to win it. It's great. My sort of time with it a few years ago now was very memorable, mate. I'll never forget it.
Yeah,
it's great for us and great for the community.
Yeah, I was going to ask because Southland, I was looking through some stats and a bit of history. Now, they've won it twice since the turn of the century, and I'm guessing that you were part of both those winning sides in 2009 and 2011, right?
Yep. Didn't have too much to do in 2009. Very much a spectator when the boys won in Christchurch 9-3. But a part of obviously the season after us defending it for a good while, and then obviously winning it again in 2011.
What's it like when you win it?
Mate, it's a huge buzz. Like I said, it's steeped in history. It's got that aura about it. Everyone wants to win it. If you're involved in NPC rugby in New Zealand, you want to get your hands on it, you want to keep it, you don't want to let it go. So it's awesome to play for.
And James, I'd guess that you, like most coaches and players in New Zealand rugby or have played in New Zealand, grew up watching the sport. And I'm sure when you grew up, you have so many memories of watching, NPC matches, back when it really was the heartbeat of New Zealand rugby. Obviously, unfortunately, things have sort of changed a little bit now. But I guess when you grow up, you watch these games, you watch matches, you watch famous Shield matches, then you're a part of it later on. It just means a whole lot more. Can the same be said for players now? I don't mean to be disrespectful when I say that, but a lot of players on your roster at the moment, I'm sure, they grew up with the NPC at a point where it was still popular, but it was probably starting to dip in terms of just the fandom around it. Does it still, a long-winded way of asking, do you feel like it means as much to the players now as, say, it did maybe 30, 40 years ago?
With our group, it does, very much so. Especially those that are born and bred. Southland, Sean Withy talked a bit about, he touched on it this week, because we haven't really, blown it up. It's Ranfurly Shield. For us, it was just, let's build on Otago and let's get better as coaches. But for Sean, he touched on the 2009, 2011 time when he was a kid watching us run around playing for it and what it did for the community. He loved it. So for those guys that were around that era, which we have quite a few actually, core of our playing group, they have those memories and they want a piece of that themselves. They want to be a part of that history, I suppose.
James Wilson from Southland joining us here on the platform. Ranfurly Shield match tomorrow between Hawke's Bay and Southland in Napier. James, as a coach, do you do anything differently ahead of a Ranfurly Shield match? Are you more hands-on with the team? Do you take a step back? How does the week look for you?
We try and keep things the same as what we would the week prior. Obviously, we want to build on, things that didn't go well for us last week against Otago. So if you look at it, I suppose this week we'd take it as another game, another week to get better. And we have to be honest. It's not only Hawke's Bay week 2 of NPC after a pretty good performance against Otago, but it's a Ranfurly Shield game. There's that added spice to it. The boys are excited about the challenge. We as coaches didn't really, like I said, we didn't talk too much about it. We let the players drive that. It's the back of their minds very, very much so that this is going to be bigger than normal. It's going to be a huge challenge going up to Napier and trying to rip the Ranfurly Shield off the grip.
It's something that I'm sure, and I like to think I understand this a bit more than most. I'll put my hand up and admit, James, I'm actually from Hawke's Bay. I'm from Napier, and all my family's from there. So I won't lie. I might have a magpie attached to my head tomorrow at 4:35. But the thing I love about the Ranfurly Shield, and I just don't think people get this in the bigger cities, and it's not really their fault. I guess it's a sign of the times, but it's such a at least the younger people, is that when you go to the provinces, it means so much. And I remember being down in Napier in 2013, a week after they'd taken it off Otago, and I wasn't actually going to the game, but I just happened to be visiting family, and the buzz around the town ahead of that counties match, which Hawke's Bay lost, was incredible. And everyone had like little cardboard cutouts of shields and shops. People were walking around with so much Magpies gear on. It just, the buzz was incredible. And I'm sure that when you're the away team and you go there's a buzz that you can notice. You also might notice a little bit more animosity, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, you get a bit of extra pride sort of comes up when it's a Ranfurly Shield game around your team, and obviously the challenge that lies ahead. For us, I just remember bringing it back to our community. We got it to all corners of Southland. We made sure everyone got to touch it. And that sort of created a bit more buzz around that as well. It's everyone's trophy. When we win, they win. We all win.
Yep.
And when we're all challenging or defending the Shield, they are too. So they're very much a big part of it. Our fan base, obviously, you saw it in the weekend. It's fantastic. They very much get behind us 110%, and we need them. We need them to. So, if we can do it this weekend, it's very much going to be for them. Because they've been fantastic. Win or lose, they're with us all the way.